Morning, John Mack. Yeah, I'm starting a little bit early because I got some stuff to get set up and whatnot. And hope you can hear me all right because right now I'm sitting behind the camera while I'm getting some stuff lined up to unbox and set up this CR-10. I am going to pull the video up. Morning, David Olson and Fernando Pena. I'm going to get this thing set up and get ready to get going here. Half of my tools are still up in the old makerspace. I haven't moved them down, so hopefully we don't run into too many things that I'll have to run back and forth for, but we'll see. I need to tweet this out. Let's see here. Where's that? Well. Morning, Thomas Elrod. Let me get the... Give me just a few minutes here, folks. Hope everybody had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I know a lot of you had a 3-day weekend. For me, it was work all 3 days. All right, let's see. Let's tweet this out. Come join me while unbox and set up my CR-10 S4. And paste the link and tweet. And 3D printing trucker was working too all weekend. So I'm going to pull up the stream on my tablet, which you see sitting back there, because when I'm back there, I won't be able to. My eyesight sucks too bad to read the chat all the way back over here at the computer. So I am going to pull up the video over here. Hi everybody, I'm here. Let's see. Make sure my sound is muted here. And now, turn it this way so the chat look better. Okay, cool. All right. Okay. Well. Okay, that's not too bad. I was trying to set the camera as close as I could to get everything in frame so that that y'all could see what I'm doing a little bit better than it being over there on the monitor. I did open the box already, but all I did was peek inside because Robbie Mack wanted me to make sure that the glass bed didn't get broken and the fang for the cooling fan didn't get broken. So I did go ahead and open it up just to take a peek inside and make sure that didn't happen, because Robbie's like, I don't want you to open this thing live on a stream and find out that, you know, the glass bed's broken and that the fang cooler's busted and you know, kill your stream before it even gets started. I said, okay, I'll take a peek and make sure. He's like, that way, you know, if you need to print out another fang, you can do it. And if you need to go get another piece of glass cut, you can do that. But everything looked all right. So this is where the printer's permanent home is going to be. I probably should have set up another table to set the box over on and taken the stuff out. So instead, I'm probably just going to set it on the floor. But yeah, working with what I got. So as most of you guys know, Robbie Mack sent this to me. He was not using it, and he knew I needed a larger machine. Which he packed it very well. There's lots of bubble wrap and stuff in here with the original phone. There she is. It's Got the TH3D build surface on it already. Maybe set this down here for now. Take the other half out. Today is trash day. If I get this all unboxed in time, I can also take out the trash. So we have lots of things wrapped up in here. He included the OEM extruder, but he said there's an all metal one, all metal extruder on here. Here we have the control box and the gantry, the spool holder, and all that good stuff. Set that down here. Make sure no little parts fell off and under any flat mini boxes. All right. I'll set the big empty box out of the way. And I'm hoping my shelf is going to be large enough for this thing. Looks like, depends on how far the bed goes back. I guess I'll see when I get the bed unclipped from its spot. There's a belt tensioner he had printed, looks like. Here. Quality on that looks great. Alright, well, there's going to be a little more assembly in this one than there is when you unbox a CR-10 from the factory, because the he had done some upgrades to the hot end and stuff. Alright, let's see here. Who else we got? We got 3D Medic Vince has joined us, and Mike Whaley has joined us, and Don, the German printing nerd. Probably put lots of bubble wrap in here, and he's got lots of things packed very, very nicely. Make sure there's no parts in any of the bubble wrap as I take it out here. There's power cord, I need that. And we got some wrenches and Allen keys. Spool holder. Control box. Already set to 110 volt. Didn't expect any different. Set this up here for now. Just continuing to get everything out of the box. Carefully. That, I'm not sure what that is. Figure that out. Gantry and cables. The hot end has been removed temporarily. Set that here for right now. That's it. Okay. Spool them out of the way. Make sure, what's this? Set that there for now. All right. Yeah, you're right, man. And 3D printing trucker, it's Bill, correct? Bruce Ennis, good morning, sir. Yeah, I probably will have to end up turning it sideways because my shelf seems to be about the same length as the actual frame of the printer. Either that or I may have to move my shelves out a few inches, but I can do that. Hit the nail right on the head, Mike Whaley says. All right, this thing is huge, man. And Robbie has put these ruler markings on the side to help make sure that the X gantry is level, so you can line it up by the marks. I gotta keep an eye, I guess, on these little needles here and make sure that they're not bent, but I can calibrate that as I go. Yes, yes, this is the S4, so 400 by 400 by 400, and it is finally out of the box. What do we got here? Aha! It's the T brackets that go on the side. This is a 3D printed little end cap of some kind from one of the extrusions that appears to have fallen out during shipping. So, see where that goes here in a minute. And quick instructions and SD card inside. Derek Matthews, good morning, sir. Derek Matthews gave John Mack a shout out in his latest video. Oh, wow. Robbie's got like full printed out instructions. There's the SD card. 4 zip ties securing the bed to the rails underneath that will need to be cut. Okay. We can do that. Hey, instructions, what are those? Yeah, I need them. So I'm thankful. I'm thankful Robbie has included some instruction. So I'm going to set this. Actually, I'm just going to set this down out of the way for right now. Lean it back here. Okay. Because I think I'm going to have to possibly turn this over. There's the zip ties he's talking about that are securing the bed to keep it from moving during shipment. Cut those. And remove them. Add those to the ever-growing pile of trash. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to turn this thing sideways. Or like I said earlier, slide my shelf out. So that's a nice, big, thick belt. Wow. Set the control box out of the way for a minute. Because I'm going to go ahead and start setting this up as if I'm going to have to turn it sideways. Uh-oh. Wasn't sure. Let's see. Goes in. Just gonna go in there. Okay. Just the shipping, Derek. Robbie Mack was not using it, and he knew I needed a larger machine to print out the stuff that I've been designing. And he knew that I had finally saved the money to buy my large format printer, and then I found out that I have a sister just a few weeks ago, and so I spent the money that I had saved for a printer on a plane ticket to go and see my sister for the first time and give my little sister a long overdue hug from her big brother. She has known that that I exist since she was 13 years old, and so she has waited 25 years to meet me. And I just found out she exists a few weeks ago, and so I spent the money that I had saved for a printer on a plane ticket to fly down and see her last week, which is why I did not stream last week. Hey Scalda, how's the caravan studio coming, man? I'm not entirely sure how all this stuff goes together. Okay, so that obviously goes there. Belt runs through there. And this slots in there. Okay. Figuring it out. Picked up a piece of kitchen worktop for it. I'll have to get some more sheet material tomorrow. Start on the floor. It's coming along nicely. This machine is going to really be able to finally kick off my production of the stuff that I've been designing, which I'm super excited about, because the problem I ran into when I printed the truck was it took me almost a month to print all the parts, and I had to slice them up. Like the bed that was designed to be 3 pieces had to be sliced up into 18 pieces, and then I had to try to line those all up with warping from each individual piece, and sand and glue and fill and sand some more, just to try to make it, you know, passable. With a machine like this now, I'll be able to print those pieces as they were designed to be printed, which is in larger pieces. Yes, a large format printer is going to change everything for me. It's going to allow me to print the things as they were intended to be printed, rather than spending a bunch of time trying to line stuff up and glue and sand and all that. I don't know. his instructions here. Alright, so I cut the 4 zip ties, then you will need to attach the Y-axis tensioner bracket to the front mounting bracket. And mount it tight against the mounting bracket. Use 4 bolts to bolt together. Cool. Alright, so that's what we're doing now. My dog is in there being silly. That's what he does. I can hear him in the other room. He's wallowing. He wallers when he's happy. I like to see my puppy happy. Uh-oh. Oh, hi. Hey, Joe. Hi. It's little camera time. You went outside. Your feet are all wet. Grass must be wet. And that's why you're wallering. Sounds like you're wallering on Rhett's bed. So Rhett's bed has little wet doggy footprints all over it right now, doesn't it? Joey. Yeah, that might actually be a good idea. This being, I don't know if this has the power off or zoom function around it. Because this is, it came from Tiny Machines originally. And doesn't Tiny Machines reflash all their Creality products? My fingers are too big to get in there. Morning, Rover. How are you doing, sir? Hey, Ben. How you doing, man? Yeah, I'm still very, very overwhelmed that Robbie made this awesome gesture. Because, you know, I was still planning on getting a large format machine eventually. But my plans were certainly sidetracked a little. But the visit with my sister went amazing. I probably spent the majority of the time hanging out with her husband. Her husband Chris, who's an awesome dude. He's a disabled vet. He's a former Marine and a current Dallas police officer. Awesome dude. I got to spend a couple of days at their beautiful home just outside of Waxahachie, Texas. It's a very cool little town. But yeah, most importantly, I was finally able to give my little sister a hug from her big brother that she had been waiting 25 years for. And, you know, I didn't know she existed until just a few weeks ago. So, I mean, I guess I hadn't been waiting that long, but even the amount of time that I had to wait was killing me. Um, so you know, some things are more important than 3D printing, you know? And so I'm like, you know, no, I'm going to go see my sister. And so I flew down there last Tuesday, a week ago today. Um, had to leave my house at like 4 o'clock in the morning and hopped on a 7 a.m. flight to Dallas. And rented a car and drove from Dallas to down to her house, which the rental car company was all out of. Um, they were all out of compact cars. So the cheapest car they had was a sports car. So I got to rent it was a Camaro RS. It was 6-cylinder, but it was still it was fast and fun. But I drove it very, very carefully and slowly on my way to see my sister because I didn't know the town, you know, didn't know the streets, and so I didn't want to run myself into any tight spots. But on the way back to the airport, I had a little bit of fun with it, I'll be honest. But that's the only 2 times I drove it was from the airport to her house and then from her house back to the airport. I'm going to catch up on the chat here. Joe, good morning, sir. And Ben Craig is here. Appreciate you guys all popping in today to watch me fumble around assembling a printer. I guess, you know, I'll probably never be a guy to do a printer review videos because I suck at putting these things together. Although maybe that would be half the fun and make it interesting is watch a guy that's totally bumbling his way through it like I do. Someone knows what they're doing and probably have this thing printing already. I'm going to disappoint Red Light because it's out of the box now. He prefers to keep his printers in the box as long as possible. I guess I timed that just right. Were your ears ringing, Red Light? Your ears, my ears are ringing, but my ears are ringing because 28 years of playing music is taking its toll on my hearing. Before I tighten anything, this looped over. Make sure my belt isn't twisted. Is my belt twisted? Nope, we're good. Okay. Just need to get hooked over this pulley. I should have done that before I put those screws in. I didn't tighten them down, so I figured. There we go. All right. Belt on. Now to tighten those. Is this the right size for those? One step at a time, right, Mike? I should check to make sure that was there first. Eyeballs are working better today than I thought. It goes down. I'm no expert on that. Sounds like I'm playing a bass string now. It's got a little bit of deflection in it, but it's got good tension, I think. Okay, I think that's step 2. Okay, cool. There's a PTFE tube on the left rear of the frame. It's a simple hack I did. Pull the tubing out so that it extends past the rear of the printer, so that it's still secured under the 3 zip ties. This tubing prevents the bed wiring from catching on the rear corner of the printer as the bed moves forward and back. Okay. To disassemble the hot end in order to ship this, you can actually reassemble it easily while it's still in the box. Remove the 4 bolts. You took it out of the box. Remove the 4 bolts holding the grill and fan to the fan cooler. So I guess we're on to the Bentley. Lightspeed, we are looking at me bumbling through reassembling a CR-10 S4. This is where I should have set myself up another table. Let's see here. It's got Capricorn tubing on it and everything, it looks like. Alright. So, no, it's not new. This is a second-hand machine. It was sent to me by Robbie Mack. You guys have seen him all here in the country club chats and 3D printing stuff. So, morning, Mr. Buttram. And Slug? Looks good enough. Benchy, go. No. I still don't own a Benchy. Not one. I've never printed a Benchy. All right. So, let's see here. Start this stuff all towards me a little bit, so I can see. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see what I'm doing, though. So I can move the camera. Move the 4 bolts holding the grill and fan to the fan cooler. Okay. Tablet over here so I can get up there. Yeah. Oh, come on. There it goes. No, I don't. I don't have a single Vinci. I never have. But I got into 3D printing to print my own designs. You know, I never had any interest in you know, printing baubles off of Thingiverse. Funny thing is I'm adding stuff to Thingiverse myself. 4 bolts holding grill and fan to the fan cooler. That's where we're at. Yeah, I better be careful. Chris Riley will hear me say I still don't own a Benchy, and he'll send me a box full of it like he's done so many other people. Cracked me up when he sent Fun King 3D a box full of Benchies. Okay, remove 4 bolts. Done. Mount the hot end to the X carriage using the 2 bolts currently in the hot end. Get them pretty snug. Mount the hot end to the X carriage using the 2 bolts currently in the hot end. Get them pretty snug. The cap tubing should run behind the X gantry because the extruder is behind the X gantry, as you'll notice. Okay. Oh, yeah. Extruder. Okay. Get it back to the side a little bit, huh? Morning, Sean. Yep, that's a good design philosophy. Just keep throwing stuff at the wall. Something's bound to stick. I get down here lower where I can see. But now you guys can't see anything I'm doing. Hold on. Can I tilt you guys down and bring you over here to working on the box top here? Robbie, what's going on, man? So I am putting the hot end back on the gantry right now. That's where I'm at. Goes off until we're about flush. And now Robbie can tell me what I'm doing wrong while I do it. Because I'm sure I'm going to get some stuff wrong while I'm doing this. Nope, go in. This is a CR-10 S4, Ron. And good morning, sir. How is life for my second favorite Canardian? James still has the distinction of being my favorite Canardian. Sorry. Well, I'm not really a Southerner. I live down south, but I'm not a Southerner. They remind me all the time that all the Southerners down here remind me all the time that Missouri was on the quote-unquote wrong side of the war. They're still bitter about it. They haven't let it go. I'm like, let it go. All the people who fought in that war are dead now. Okay. I think that's on pretty snug. Rover hadn't been to bed yet. Rover never goes to bed. Rover just takes power naps. Yeah, it doesn't wiggle at all. It's good. It's good then. Robbie says it's good. I'm going to say it's good. And I move slow doing this stuff because, well, I only want to do it once. if I can help it. This one screwed. Overslept 13 hours yesterday. Is that what happens when you don't sleep at all, Rover? That every once in a while you just crash hard? Run until your body just don't want to run no more, and it just shuts down. Tell you, I crashed hard when they tested me that time and kept me awake for 5 days. When I finally did sleep, I slept for like 32 hours straight. Yeah, light speed, same way. All right. That's on. Remount the fan and grill thing using 4 bolts. Bolt the X and Z gantry to the bed frame using the brackets and bolts. Okay, we're moving right along. All right, so now turn you guys back over here. Starting to look like a printer now. Oh, my favorite peanuts. Now, Robbie, were you saying that even though it's got these lock washers on it, that I should not use the lock washers? No, we had a discussion about that. Oh, camera. Focus. 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 There it goes. All right. Anybody else with any CR-10 experience care to chime in and say whether they use the lock washers or not? That's on these bolts, the ones that go through the bottom. Red light did not use them. All right, well, I'm going to try without them. And we will put the lock washers back in this little baggie. So we keep track of them in case we decide later that it is necessary. All right, so finally get it lined up and then I drop the screw. That's the way it goes. Reality 3D. Now, I'm going to carefully drag it through the machine because I am going to put finger tighten one into each side. Get them started anyway. That way they should be lined up. Hopefully I don't, like, my shelf doesn't collapse while I'm doing this. I guess that'll make for entertaining video if the whole shelf comes down, huh? It'll be like, one more bolt and... Number 3, you don't want them. Magic smoke. Thanks, Rover. Snug. It's your home. Are you too good for your home? Snug. Turn it around and the other side. Thank you, Red Light. Appreciate that, man. I hope I am. I'm certainly no whiz at this stuff. And we haven't got to my least favorite part yet, and that's T-nuts. Although when I put the X1 back together, I struggled with T-nuts for like an hour. And so I was like, there's got to be a secret to this. So I went to Google and I searched for the secret to T-nuts. And the first video that came up was Joe Mike Terranella, who apparently is the T-nut whisperer, because I watched a 2-minute video from Joe Mike, and 5 minutes later I had all my T-nuts tightened properly on the X1. All right, so those are in now for the T-brackets. One of them's got the end stop on it. The end stop goes which side does the end stop go on? He probably told me. Z stop. Oh, yep, sure did. On the left side of the printer when facing the printer for the front. Okay. So that's the front of the printer. So you know here. And a different thing. Do it. It's not that one either. This one. Is this one? Okay. So I'm going to do what Joe Mike's video said to do, which was to snug them down, lined up first. Line them up and gently snug them down. Put them in the slot. Back them off until they clear and turn. That Joe Mike Terranella, tell you what. Joe Mike, the T-nut whisperer. There you go. Snug, snug. Not moving. Not moving. Now I got a dog laying next to me. Hi. Hi, Joe. Your big little boy. Yeah. Okay. So I have that T-bracket on. Yeah, I don't think I would have ever gotten this had I not watched that 2-minute video from Joe Mike. Joe Mike is the man. And Joe Mike has even more KC pride than I do, because he is always sporting not only KC hats, but KC shirts. Only KC shirt I got is my Royals jersey, which my wife got for me for My birthday. My 40th birthday. Nope, that wouldn't take. Yep. Yeah, see, starting with this, I don't know if you can get. Starting with this one, if you leave all the other ones not tightened up, you can tell that this one is engaged. If you back it off and then tighten it down and the T stays, then you know you got that one, because the other ones still aren't even started yet. And then these, the outer ones, you can see the T-nut inside turn. So they're easy. I'm not going to say easy, but easier. All right. Snug, 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 snug. All right. There we go. So, on to step 6. Plug everything in. You can begin to level the X gantry to the frame. I got to watch Robbie Mac's video on that. Just one of the pins slightly, since this was disassembled and reassembled. Okay. Level bed, tighten the spring nuts. Just see time. We're almost there, folks. We are almost there. I am still of the mind I'm going to have to run this thing sideways. Because of the travel of the bed. So, probably putting the control box back here. Best laid plans of mice and men. Okay. Which I'll have to route and clean up cables more as I go, I'm sure. That. Make sure everything's tangled up. There's the bed. This out of the way. Power cord, set that there for now. And wires, when you're not watching, will tangle themselves up with one another even when rolled up nicely. Let's see here. Untwist everything. Everything's nice and separated. Gotta keep them separated. It's a song. Not my kind of song, but a song. All right. Yeah, I choose to just look at it as relaxing. And no, Robbie Mac extended the cords on this himself before They released a kit to extend the cables. So Robbie Mac cut and spliced extensions onto it. I won't give you a close-up of his wiring job because he doesn't want you to make fun of him like y'all do John Mac and his wiring jobs. Because it looks fine to me. I don't see anything ugly. He was telling me it was ugly. It doesn't seem to be ugly to me. It's a lot prettier than I'd be able to do it. So, all right. So this is Z. So I'm assuming this goes to this side because this is. Box a little closer. Figure out where its final home will be in a minute. So this appears to be the Z in stop. I should have plugged that in before I put the T-bracket on. That would have been easier. That would have made my life easier if I would have been paying attention to that. Because I got these ginormous hands. There we go. Got it. And this is the Z motor on this side. Okay. This is the Z motor for the other side. I'm assuming you run that under the rail of the printer. No, we're not printing yet, Chris, but good morning, sir. Yeah, still assembling because I am slow. I'm not a fast and amazing printer assembler like yourself. I'm not good at this stuff at all, in fact. Which is why no company is ever going to send me a printer for review. Because I take forever to put them together. All right. So so the Z's are plugged in. This is the bed. Sprout it under here. These are keyed. You can see where the key groove is. No, keys on top. Okay, that makes sense. That one in. These to run. This one goes to the extruder. This one goes to the X motor. And this one goes to, where's the X and stuff? Oh, there it is. So, Chris, do you have like an itemized list of everything somebody would need to buy to set up Octoprint? Because I want to do that at some point. Now that I've got this larger machine. How far back does the bed come? Yeah, I'm gonna have to move the control box. I don't know what the best placement for that is going to be. I'll figure that out. Awesome, dude. Yeah. Zimmy, morning, sir. Because I want to do Octoprint, and I want to have a webcam on it and all that, so that I can keep an eye on my prints while I'm away. For now, cable holder sitting in here. No, I still got that stuff to plug in. Oh, Y motor and the Y in stop. Yeah, I still haven't figured out exactly how I need to orient all this stuff. Like I said, I'm wondering if I can't set the printer long ways if I just move the whole shelf out a little bit. If I can do that without the shelf falling apart. These shelves don't like being moved. Case in point. How far back does it track? Oh, I don't know, because I can't. Let me turn it. Make sure I'm not binding anything up as I go here. See if I can turn it. Right. Feeder on. Yeah, the whole shelf's going to come out a little bit to do it that way. Information that would have been helpful before I set up the shelves. I should have left more space there. It's my fault. Joe. moving enough. Nope, still not moved enough. Oh no, don't you get up. There we go. Joey, what are you doing over here? There, I believe we got enough room now. Okay. So, have to route those better and clean that up. Make sure none of my connectors came undone moving all that stuff. Okay, cool. Yeah. Whew. Yeah, it just moving that shelf was hard once the shelf was together because it's heavy. It's very heavy. So we've got everything plugged in except for the power. Hey, and then finally, I will finally own a printer that has a power switch on it. All right, well, to quote Samuel L. Jackson in Jurassic Park, hold on to your butts. Here we go. Is everybody ready? Looking at the chat. Give you guys a chance because I know it's a little bit behind. See if the machine explodes. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, it's got the little TH3D splash screen on it. Thermistors are reading 21 degrees on the bed and the nozzle. TH3D CR-10 ready. Nothing exploded. So now I got to level the bed and the gantry. And Robbie says since he installed the new 10mm belt, then I may have to calibrate my Y steps. So I'll probably have to lean on you guys for that. I don't know anything about that. Yeah, first I need to get a logo that I don't despise, Chris. I hate my logo. So what do you think? Do we home it? All right, here we go. Bear, auto home. Get ready with the power switch. Yeah, I noticed it had better knobs on it than stock, but I noticed it was also smaller than the big ones that the regular CR-10 often has. But yeah, I guess the S4 you probably can't because it has the dual um, braces underneath the bed. Yeah, the rails. That's what I meant. It's still early for me. I had a show last night. Man, when the Z is all the way up, it takes a long time to get down. Well, there it is. It is homed. It's your home. Wow. Looking at it next to the other two, it's huge. Right? Yeah. I think I could set my other two printers on the bed of this thing. I know I could set the X1 on the bed of this thing. All right, so let's see here. Tension on that belt seems good. So now we gotta go through the bed leveling. Now, do I have to preheat the bed to level it? And I need to find a piece of paper. Yeah, I'll take the tablet with me so I can see the chat while I go look for a piece of paper. Yeah, let me look at the gantry for you real quick, Robbie. See where we're at. Dude, it already looks pretty much, it's 1.5 above that line. It's 2 above that line here. There. Unless the needles got moved, they are both on the same spot already. They were just micro a little bit off. Yes, Robbie Mack added those leveling marks. All right. Piece of paper found. So let's preheat the bed. Do we need to preheat everything or just the bed? Your wife washed your coffee cup and now it doesn't taste right. All right, preheat PLA. The Mr. readings are going up. I didn't look to see what's all in this. Oh my goodness. Robbie sent me some spare parts. We got a spare heater cartridge and a spare thermistor. The OEM hot end cover. Some quick disconnects. It's like spare GT pulleys. And the OEM plastic extruder. Because this has the metal extruder on it. The hot end is almost up to temperature. The bed is at 31 and climbing. And Fernando's back. I've got it all put together and it's heating up right now. We're going to attempt to level the bed. The hot end is at temp. The bed is at 34. It's set to 55. Take a nap, the bed heats slow. Robbie did add, you say, a silicone insulation pad to it. Okay. So with the bed all the way back, I can still pass my finger behind the bed wires, so they're not hitting the wall. I think I can leave it turned this way. The little rubber feet sit just inside of the front rail here, so they're not on the rail. Should be good and stable. Ooh. And I got a dog. I got a dog. My dog loves me. He keeps sniffing up towards the printer. He's like, something's new up there. The bed is at 41 and still climbing. Slowly now. Are you working today, Chris? Oh, yeah, the spool holder's right here. I guess I could put that on while we're heating everything up. What's the best way for this? How does this normally go? I should look at a picture of CR-10. This thing facing in and towards the printer. Okay, cool. This side does not work today. Can I see? We're at 48 on the bed. It's probably close enough to go ahead and stick a piece of paper under things. Huh?
piece of paper out there. Sable stickers. This one. Yeah, all these bed adjustment screws were very loose. The bed is at temp. This back corner was kind of a pain. All right. Slide back to the front. See, we're still
Drag it on the paper there. Okay, cool. I think our bed is level-ish. Yeah, it seems like the knobs had pretty much loosened all the way up by the time they got here. But that's, that's what it is. Alright, so we're going to go here, go to prepare, auto home. Okay, so we're home. I guess now what? Load some filament? Well, that's the filament I want to use. So let's. What do I do with my cutters? I don't know what I did with my cutters. So just using scissors. Hmm. Oh no. Joe's losing power. You got the touch. Those. Mm-hmm. See what Robbie Mac put on the SD card. Mm. Yep, they're still lined up though. Well, there's nothing fun on the SD card there, Robbie. It's upgrade parts. The fan cooler. Profiles and factory parts. Factory files. I'm gonna have to slice something and put on here. Okay, fine. That's what I'll do. Alright, so back over to the computer. I like how you, oh, hold on. I Velcroed that to that little stand so it didn't move this back over here. Back on top of the monitor. I like how you drew an outline of the way that the SD card goes in. Oh yeah, no Decapa cat. He told me it's got the fixed cat on it. Yeah, I might have to look into getting Simplify 3D. Wow, this has taken me like 2 hours to get this far today. But let's no, I don't, but I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about it. I use Kira and Idea Maker. So let's do something I've never done. Let's go and download a Vinci. It is time. The Battle Vinci. Let's go to the screen share. Oh, wow. Kira finally decided to open. Okay, let's see. Not the RC Vinci. Ship Direct Vinci. Where's just the regular plane? the aircraft carrier Vinci. Oh my god, I love it. The Nimitz Vinci. I've never seen that. Okay, I think that's the first Vinci I've ever saw that I really actually kind of want. Although I imagine it would take too much time. But that is awesome. I gotta see. Oh, that's just too cool. Okay, whoever did this remix of the Vinci, Hobson 318, I love it. I love it. That's awesome. Oh, but I should probably start with the standard benchy. But I do want the Nimitz benchy now. Iron Throne benchy. Make benchy float accessories. Where's just the regular old benchy? Oh, the benchy mech. That's hilarious too. I like that. All right, well, I don't know how long the Nimitz benchy is going to take to print. I mean, I guess I could do it. Where'd it go? There it is. All right, fine. That's what I'm going to do. I just may not be able to finish printing it on the stream. Nimitz class benchy. All right. Well, let's see. Yeah, it's large. Let's see what it says. Oh yeah, that says it's going to take 4 hours. I'm going to keep looking for the regular benchy. But I will print this at some point because it's just too cool. Where is the regular benchy? Does anybody know where, like, because Daniel Noray is the guy that made the regular benchy. Does anybody know where? A Baby Groot dancing benchy. Yet another benchy stand. A tank benchy. Oh, thank you, Robbie Mac. I'll just click on one of these things and then I'll change the thing number. There it is. Okay. Thing files. I guess that's the regular benchy. Here, I'm going to remove this one. All right, I really haven't set up the profile or anything yet for this. This is just the stock S4 settings for the for Kira. We don't want support, right? We'll see how it does. It says an hour and 14 minutes. All right, we'll save it to removable drive. Eject. Go back to webcam close up. Goodness, what's that? Guess the last filament you printed with was black, Robbie? Let's see. I'm gonna roll that up for a second. Move that. Squish some more of this through. All right. That out of there. Prepare. Auto home. Take from SD. Benchy. And I probably got some stuff that I'm not doing right. We'll see. It's now heating the bed to 60. Well, that's not going to work at all. Stop. Print aborted. What in the world happened there? I don't know what happened there. It's 6 feet off the bed. I'm exaggerating, of course.
control, pain, repair. Home. Let's try it again. I have to re-level the bed. Because I had the marks lined up with the wrong leveling points. I didn't count enough. So I got to re-level the bed. Crap. Okay. Let's try that again. Go. Either that or when I push that filament in, I pushed it, and then I looked at the wrong mark when I was checking it before I started. Which probably not the case. Okay, we're good. Home it all, try again. All right. Bed's gonna come back up to 60. Meanwhile, come back over here with you guys. We're getting close to reaching the time when the stream is supposed to end, but we're running a little bit past. I want to get this thing put in plastic on the bed. I do have some errands and stuff to do. Well, it stormed here the other day, and my wife left the umbrella open on the glass top table on the back deck. Wind caught the umbrella and broke the glass. So I got that to clean up today. Well, I'm never rigid with my stop times either. I probably should be more rigid with them than I am. Okay, this is weird. It acts like it's waiting for the extruder to heat up, but the thermistor's reading temperature. Okay, there it goes. Never mind. It says heating done. The thermistor is reading 218, and it said it was waiting for 215. I'm like, you're past 215. They're not extruding yet. There it goes. Of course, now it's too high off the bed. I'm have to stop this one too. Yeah, I have to stop this one too. Yeah, come in. I checked the level of the corners. I didn't check the level in the center, which obviously was a mistake. Because at the center, it's still quite a ways off the bed. Yeah, it's not touching at all. So what would you suggest with that? The bed is obviously bowed a little bit. Gear Hearts, how you doing, man? Gear Hearts, is that right? Yeah, Nereus is the king of the like 9-10 hour long stream every Wednesday. Because it's dragging it, you know, at the leveling screws the paper drags, but at the center the paper's nowhere close. I mean, they don't touch anything. Should I adjust it so that those corners are too close, but then the center is closer to right? I've never dealt with a bed this big. All right, so the corner's too tight. Barely move the paper now. Okay. All right. Heating her back up. We'll try again. Yeah, I think I'm going to order that
Easy ABL kit from TH3D, I think. Unless somebody's got a better idea than that. And then it won't matter. You know, a lot of people complain about the noise of these machines, and so far I gotta say that the CR-10 is probably the loudest one of my three, but even that, it doesn't bother me at all. It's no, I mean, it's only a little bit louder than, you know, a computer sitting next to you. Of course, the computer I used for years was a workstation, so it was a server tower basically. So while it is heating, I am going to step away and use the restroom real quick because I've been sitting here drinking Gatorade and I need to. So I will be right back. Because the bed is still heating and then it's going to heat the nozzle. Back up. It is heating the nozzle now. We will be printing in a minute. Here we go. See if I got it this time. I guess I should have sliced this with a... Oh, there we go. It's going down. All right. It looks like it's going to print. It's getting started anyway. Nothing's looking too ugly.
awesome. Yep, just a regular old benchy. It'll be my very first benchy. Okay, it is a little louder once it gets printing. But even that doesn't bother me. It's not obnoxious or anything. So yeah, Robbie, I had a little bit of a bow to the bed, just a little bit, where setting the corners at the right height, the middle was too far away. So I made the corners just a skosh too tight, and it seems like maybe the middle now is just a tiny incy bent too far away, maybe. But it seems to be printing. No, Chris. I made that joke earlier. I was like, Chris Riley's going to hear me say that I don't own any benchies, and he's going to send me a box full of them, like he did Glenn. Yeah, I'll have to keep that in mind. We're just printing a benchy, so it was just printing pretty much a little teeny thing in the middle of the bed, and so. And I'm sure I'm getting some resonance through the shelving because the shelving is not, dampened in any way. It is kind of shaking the whole shelf. I might have to support the shelf in some way. These two smaller machines don't move the shelf this much. As you can see by the vibration in the spool holder there, that it's shaking the shelf pretty hard. So I may have to add some supports to my shelving. And I haven't dialed in anything as far as the slicer goes at all. I just opened up the stock CR-10S4 profile on Kira. I did no dialing. I just let it at it. So I mean, I may have to tune speeds and stuff like that a lot yet too. So. Yeah, the inertia created by a bed this large moving back and forth, it's like the shelf is like counter moving to the bed. And I didn't do any of that the Y-step calibration or anything yet that you suggested either, Robbie. So I mean, there could be some fine tuning that still needs to be done. I just wasn't patient. I wanted to plug it in, get it running, and start it running and see what happens. Yeah, I'm impatient, so I just let it go. We'll see. I have to brace my shelf some more, which I think I can do. I'll line the other shelf up with it, and then I'll tie the two shelves into each other so they share mass a little bit. It should stiffen it up a little bit, and then figure out some support bracing for it. Maybe print some support bracing to attach the shelf to the wall, and let the wall brace it. Design and print a bracket that I can put a bolt through into the wall. John's not here, and John changed his profile image. Instead of his logo, now we see his face. Diagonal brace to the rear side of the shelf. Yeah. Yeah, because like I said, the A-net and the X1 over here, they don't move this shelf, the shelf that they're on at all, not noticeably. But there's so much more mass moving on the S4. Yeah. I probably will start going through filament faster now that I have a big machine. And if Ryan's boss asks, he's definitely not here. But even with the shelf shaking and not doing any calibration to the machine other than leveling the bed, and not doing any profile calibration, just using the stock profile from Kira. So far, so good. We'll see. Yeah, for every action, there's an equal but opposite reaction. Like, so every time the bed moves, stops to move one direction, the shelf like counteracts it. So far, so good. Robbie Mack is the man. Wow. that move violently shook the shelf, whatever it was changing direction for there. I'm definitely going to have to add some bracing to the shelves. Like I said, despite as much as the shelf is shaking, the print is still looking pretty smooth. Morning, Matt Johnson. The S4 lives. and it is printing. It is printing my very first Benchy. I got my first 3D printer last April, and this will be my very first Benchy ever. It felt right. It felt like the time was right to print my very first Benchy. You're right, Chris. You know, I never thought about it, but the shelf shaking into an exact opposite action to what the inertia of the bed may actually be dampening the ghosting. That's interesting to think about. That might be an interesting test, Chris, and a cool video idea. Come up with some sort of suspended floating shelf that's allowed to move with the action of the printer. You know, a shelf that kind of free floats, and then use the same printer and print the same file on a rigid shelf, and then set it on the floating shelf and print it, and see if there's differences. See if we've been doing this wrong the whole time. See if we should be putting our printers, especially ones that have a lot of inertia behind them, on a floating shelf. What do you think, Chris? Yeah, yeah. It could start a whole debate over you know, floating shelves versus rigid shelves, and then you'd have people with engineering degrees piping in and things like that. But I would say the proof would be in the results, you know, and it might be an interesting thing to try. Nerds everywhere rioting in the streets. Floating shelves! Rigid shelves! It just might be an interesting thought, you know. Set up some sort of shelf that can float independently and allow itself to move a little, at least, within, to counteract the inertia of the machine, and then take the same printer, print the same file on a very rigid, sturdy shelf, and then compare results of the prints. You never know. Because then we're starting to monkey around with applying Newton's laws into our 3D printing shelves. Because if the inertia of the bed changing direction is what caused the bed or the hot end and things like that changing direction is what's causing the ghosting, if it was sitting on a floating surface that absorbs some of that change of direction inertia, would it minimize the ghosting? So there you go, Chris Riley. That's an idea for a video for you, man. And so you may not end up making the video because you may do the test and the results are total crap, and it doesn't make any difference. But it raises the point of Why not? See if it works. See if it makes a difference. We might be ushering in a whole new aspect of engineering. People start selling floating 3D printing shelves. We can engineer those. Get the patent. You heard it here, folks. Here first, folks. Come up with some sort of zero-G shelving that would dampen all of the inertia of the machine. Well, I'm probably not brilliant enough to design it. I'm harebrained enough to come up with the idea. Maybe. Or maybe a shelf suspended by springs. So you have a shelf in between a frame that there's space around the shelf and in between the shelf and the frame, and the shelf is suspended on springs that would allow the shelf to move. But then you would have bounce back from that too. I don't know. Maybe the ball bearing idea is best, or maybe a combination of. I don't know. There's already a hang printer, Robbie Mac, but yeah, the hang shelf for 3D printing. You see it there be swinging around. How are we coming to look tomorrow? I have no experience with benchies to know if this is looking any good or not, but by my eye, it looks all right so far. Not perfect, but better than my X1 would probably do. I don't know. We'll see. It's coming along. Maybe suspended from wires at all four corners, the shelf, and so it's allowed to swing. And the mounting points. There'd be a lot of math involved in making sure you had everything lined up just right, taking angles and everything. But it could be an interesting experiment. Just to see if the surface that the printer is sitting on can dampen the inertia of the bed moving back and forth, just at decreased coasting. Mike, never let the machines win. Good morning, sir. We got the CR-10S4 put together. It is making its first print with no calibration of the machine whatsoever. No calibration of the slicer whatsoever, just opening up the stock CR-10S4 profile in Cura and slicing a benchy and letting her eat. And then my shaky shelf sparked an interesting discussion about dampening inertia and whatnot. because the inertia of this giant bed moving back and forth is shaking the crap out of my shelf. And then Chris suggested that maybe the shelf shaking was helping to dampen the inertia, and that I shouldn't reinforce the shelf. So we'll see. So then we started the gears turning inside the brilliant mind of Chris Riley. I told him it'd be a good video idea to cobble together some sort of zero-G kind of shelf system and set a printer on it and let it print and see, and then take the printer, same printer, print the same model on a very rigid surface and see if ghosting is reduced by a floating shelf, or if there are other problems that didn't exist on the rigid shelf become apparent in a floating shelf. A little bit of zitting on the side. Not too bad though. Yeah, Ben, we are making the first print with it while it's in my possession. It's printing well so far. It's printing the very first benchy I've ever printed. I've owned a 3D printer. I got the X1 back in April. I made my first 3D print April 16th. And I've never printed a benchy. Uh-oh. What we got? Hey, Joe. Who's your good boy? I don't know what retraction is set on Cura. Let's see. Where do I go to see that at? Retraction. Shell, infill, material, speed, travel, cooling, support. Retraction distance is 5 millimeters. Retraction speed is 40 millimeters per second. Retract speed 40 millimeters per second. Retraction prime speed 40 millimeters per second. Retraction extra prime amount 0. Retraction minimum travel 0.8 millimeters. Maximum retraction count 90. That's the settings in oh, well, I guess I could have just shared the screen with you. So yeah, I have retraction enabled, and the distance is at 5 millimeters, and speed at 40. So like I said, I haven't dialed anything in. So there may be some settings that need to be dialed in on this. Okay. 6.5, and speed, retraction speed to 60. We'll try that on the next thing that I print, but yeah, like I said, I just let it go on its default settings, and we'll see what happens. It's looking pretty good though, so far. But I don't have a whole lot of, I don't have a whole lot of benchy experience. I don't have any benchy experience. And I don't have a whole lot of 3D printing experience, to be honest. So, we will see. But I would say the experience I have thus far, it looks better than the prints that I got off the X1. And probably on par with the prints I was getting off of the A8. Maybe even slightly better. Get this puppy dialed in, then we get all 3 printers cranked up, knocking out parts to that Jeep. So I might even get that in the works today. No, that is not blue tape. That is a TH3D build tech sheet, which I accidentally put a little mark in at the home spot. That is when I was preheating before I leveled the bed the first time. I didn't notice that it was touching the build sheet when I preheated, and so I accidentally put a little mark at the home spot. That's not really going to be an issue, I don't think. I do want a 4th printer, but what I have in mind for production for my vehicles, I won't need more than 4. Yeah, I will not need more than 4, because I would like to have. Generally, the upper body pieces are a little bit smaller than the lower body pieces on the stuff that I build, because they're in more sections. So I don't know. I'd like a printer that's between the S4 and the A8 to print the upper body sections, while the S4 prints the lower body sections, and then the A8 can print tires and accessories, while the X1 prints wheels and small accessories. And most of my designs are you know, in 4 colors anyway. So like the A8 would handle like the interior. So I could design them so that I'm not having to do a lot of color swapping back and forth between machines. And the only thing I'd need is some stuff I might need 2 rolls of the same color so that I can have 2 parts that are the same color going on the same machine, or different machines at the same time. But the ultimate manufacturing goal, I think that would be able to crank out the vehicles the quickest, would be 4 printers running parts at the same time. So yeah, probably something smaller than the S4 but bigger than the A8 to run the upper body pieces. But that's not an immediate need. That's a future on down the road goal. Because the S4 can handle the upper and lower body right now. Just thinking from a perspective of cranking out the parts as quickly as possible. That will be a later goal. Because I might start printing and putting together kits once I get the prototype done right. I'll start printing and putting together kits and maybe sell them on Etsy or whatever, so that people can order a kit that doesn't have a 3D printer. They can order a kit of my vehicles and put them together. And then I can sell them on Etsy and maybe make a couple bucks. Or maybe bypass Etsy altogether, since I used to be a web developer. And just get my own shopping cart system set up on my website. And we are printing in 3D Solutech Silver Metal. Is the filament color we're using. Neat. Has nothing to do with printers you own. Yeah, well. Focus. It's not wanting to focus very good today. Okay. And I'm still not sure which machine would be best for that machine between medium and extra large. Because I would say the S4 falls into extra large, not large. Maybe even a Delta. I was looking at the that Anycubic the Linear Plus Delta. I've seen a lot of people have some good luck with those, and they're inexpensive. Yeah. The thing is most of the stuff that I'm printing I pretty much would have the direct line to the people who really want it anyway. The people in the there's a couple of forums that I'm a member of. Histank.com, which is a G.I. Joe collector's forum, and the Fighting 1/18th, which is a 1/18th scale collector's forum. little benchy is still going. I plan on running this stream until the benchy is done, unless life intervenes. But this printer is awesome. I can tell already this is going to change the world for me from a manufacturing and design standpoint. Because I think when I sliced the bottom piece for the Jeep, Kira told me it'd be about 13 hours to print, and it was too large to fit on the ANET A8. But I think I can get the upper body, since it's sliced into more pieces, on the A8. So I could print the upper body with the A8, be printing the lower frame with the S4, and then one at a time do wheels and tires. And, well, I guess I'd probably have to, no, I'd probably need to stick with the A8 for the wheels, since I'd already have that color filament loaded. And then I could do the tires and the roll bar and stuff like that over on the X1. Yeah, I think it's a little more involved than leveling like the X1 and stuff is, but yeah, I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's harder. I just think it takes a little longer. You got to be a little more careful because you have such a larger surface area to double check. But the upgrades that you've applied to it already, man, are spot on. They're fantastic. The all metal extruder and the belt tensioner in the front, and the fan cooler, yeah, awesome, dude. Like I said, I might look into ordering the Easy ABL kit from TH3D and putting on it, and that would make the bed leveling thing take less time. And I know TH3D kits, don't they do like an Easy ABL and then he does solid bed mounts where you eliminate the springs because you're using the ABL to do the bed leveling? Yeah, so I may do the solid bed mount and the Easy ABL upgrade to it, and then I wouldn't have to worry about it. Just tell it to auto level and then hit print. And I imagine since you've already got the bootloader and all that kind of stuff set up on it, Robbie, that whatever changes in the firmware have to be made and stuff like that won't be as big a hassle. Okay, so I would have to flash the firmware, but you've already got the bootloader on there, so that's not a big deal. Because it seems like getting the bootloader on the CR-10s are the hardest part about the firmware. I've never had a bench sheet, but this one's looking pretty decent. So I don't have a lot of experience to know whether it's looking good or not. But for a bench sheet, that is. But for a 3D print, compared to what I've seen out of my other two machines, it looks good. It looks better than the results I was getting out of the other two for the most part. I can't see the back side of it right now, of course, but I don't know. We'll get a closer look at it when it gets done, but it's getting up there. Cool. Yeah, he's kind of the premier guy to go to for upgrades on the CR-10s. It seems. I know there's others out there that do it, but he's kind of seems like the go-to guy. Even though apparently he made some people mad at the EU Friday Hangout last Friday. Seen a few people commenting on that. I didn't watch the last Friday, the EU Hangout, because I'm at work when the EU Hangout was on. I don't know. I just saw some people saying that they wouldn't like to see him on there anymore. And I was like, oh. But you got to take that for what it's worth. I mean, he may have just made one or two people mad, and you know, they're the ones vocalizing it. Squeaky wheel gets the grease kind of thing. I don't know. I didn't watch it. Oh yeah, he can be. He can be. I've watched a few of his streams, and he doesn't handle things with kid gloves, so to speak. He tells you the way he sees it in no uncertain terms. I may tell you the way I see it, but I always leave you the option for you to see it the way you want to see it. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong just because I think differently. TH3D. I guess he upset a few people on last Friday's EU Hangout. Someone was saying something about when he got his chance to talk, he turned it into an advertisement for his company. They didn't tune into the Hangout to watch a commercial. But I get it. I mean, he's got a company. He's trying to make a living. You know, he's just trying to promote his products. I didn't watch the Hangout, so I didn't see how he went about it. Maybe he went about it wrong. Just know some people got mad. Short answer: trolling for dollars? No. People have differences, and people have different opinions, and sometimes people just can't let people have their own opinion. The whole, well, you believe that way and I believe this way and you're wrong mentality. No, it doesn't work with me. I believe this way, you believe that way. That's fine by me. You know, I'm a live and let live kind of guy. I'll do me, you do you. Benchy is coming along. I know you probably can't really see it back there. Uh-oh. We'll see. It's a casting director for a television show here in Nashville. Mm-hmm. No, I'm not going to do that. Being a paid audience member for a TV show. No. Right? Yeah. Matt Johnson and Bill. So usually on these large machines like the S4, Chris, isn't it around the port holes up front the that you see the most ghosting? Isn't that where it's usually most evident? Okay. Well, maybe it's just because I don't have it off the bed yet in my hands, but I'm not really noticing any. We'll see. We're giving her time. Let her do her thing. See what comes of it. Oh, I see where that cap goes now. The cap that was in the box. So after it gets done printing, I won't snap it in while it's doing its thing, but it goes on the top of the aluminum extrusion that goes along the top over on this side. Did you print these caps, Robbie? If so, it's printed very nice. Print them left to right. They're usually 3 lines in between the rail of the deck and the porthole. Okay. I know if anybody around here is a Benchy expert, it would be Chris Riley. Because every printer he puts together, that's the first print. And the infamous lowrider Benchy and the melted ice cream Benchy. Well, airlines and stuff on it look great. Fantastic print. So I'll snap that in after the print's done. I don't want to shake the machine around. One or 2,000, 1 or 2,000. I busted up when Fun King opened that box and it was full of benchies. It's the patented Chris Riley Boxo benchies. Because we're printing the portholes right now. And actually, they're about to close up the portholes right now, the top. Yeah, the look on Xander's face was priceless. You're right. I've got a roll of orange filament. Got a roll of IC3D orange, and I won that on Fun King 3D's 1-year birthday bash celebration. I won the random drawing for it. I just haven't had any excuse to print anything awesome in orange. Chris Riley wants to buy the Fuse printer from Form Labs and use it to print nothing but benchies. A $10,000 SLS machine. He can print a whole container full of nylon benchies in one go. Could you imagine how many benchies you could fit in there in that the Form Labs SLS machine in one deal and print all in one shot? $10,000 printer and you're printing, 500 benchies at a time with it. And you get a nylon benchy, and you get a nylon benchy, and you get a nylon benchy. Wonder how tough a nylon benchy would be. An SLS printed nylon benchy at that. The first company to bring a truly affordable SLS printer to the market will change a lot of stuff. You run them over with your car, yeah, I'll bet you could. Because right now, what the most affordable SLS machine is the Center at Lisa. And it's like, what, $5,000 for just the machine, and if you want to get all the other stuff, you're going to end up running into $7,000–8,000 for all the other accessories that go with it. The thing that I find really interesting about an SLS machine would be that I could design things like my vehicles, and they could be printed with the wheels and tires already on them and be fully functional. It's crazy. because you can pull off like functional hinges and stuff like that printed in place, just with a couple supports in the right place and carefully picking them out when it's done printing. But to not have to pick out supports and things like that, to just go ahead and just design it to be printed in place and let it go, it'd be cool. Yeah, built-in support does change absolutely everything. The Legendary Blue Gamer, can you react to my YouTube channel? Is this a bot? Did I get my, oh, there we go. Legendary Blue Gamer just subscribed. I see that. I see that. Welcome. Welcome to the madness that is 3D printing. So you're obviously a gaming channel. I can check out your channel here in a little bit. Right now I'm still printing this 3D Benchy over here. My very first Benchy. I've never had a Benchy. The Benchy, if you're not into 3D printing and don't know, is a tiny little 3D printed boat that is designed to test a 3D printer. Trying to reach 100 subs. He's trying to reach 100 subs so he can name his channel, folks. So it looks like he's a gaming channel. If you have interest in gaming, I'm guessing by the name of it, since he's the Legendary Blue Gamer. If you have interest in gaming channels, go check him out and help him get to 100 subs. So he can name his channel. Yeah, how much do those HP Jet Fusion 3D printers cost? Like 50, 60 grand? There's somebody selling a couple used ones on Craigslist here locally, but they don't have an asking price. They just say make an offer. 200K? Yeah. They're selling two of them on Craigslist here locally. And I looked up the model numbers, and the machines are huge. Like, take up half this room, just one machine. And they don't have any price. They just say make offer. I'm like, I'll send them a message, say $50. I think they turned that offer down. Do animation on Microsoft Paint. Oh, cool. So yeah, if you guys have interest in gaming or animation in Microsoft Paint, go check him out and help him get to his 100 subs so he can name his channel. Uh-oh, here we go. We're getting up to the top of the roof here. And since there's no supports, it'll be bridging time soon. But Robbie Mack has done some extreme bridging with this very printer. He has a video out on bridging. Where, what was it, Robbie? You did like a, was it a 150 millimeter bridge, or was it longer than that? 300 millimeter bridge? 300 millimeter bridge. A 300 millimeter bridge successfully with this machine right here. That's crazy. All right, we closed in the top of the doors on the side. So bridging is getting ready to happen soon. Successful, yes, pretty no. Yeah, it's got the Fang part cooler on it, which seems to work beautifully. But it'll do 200 millimeter dependably. Cool. I imagine a lot of that is about speed. You'd have to go pretty slow, wouldn't you? Bridging that kind of distance. This, I believe, sliced at 50 millimeters a second print speed. Is that about the average speed I can expect, or should I be slowing it down some? I guess we'll wait and see how the Benchy looks at 50 millimeters a second. Like I said, this is bone stock Cura profile for this. Cura 3.4.1 or whatever, the most recent version of Cura. And that was only because I was too lazy to set up a profile in Idea Maker. $50 to $60, okay. Because I think when I test sliced that bottom panel for the Jeep, it was at 50 millimeters a second, and it said it would take about 13 hours. So maybe if I can bump it up to 60, it'll knock a little time off that. But so far, the Benchy's looking good. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that show and see if I do favor that guy, or look it up online. Oh, my live stream from my house, or I know my wife posted some videos last night as well from our show on at the stage last night, because she came to the show. She did some live streaming there too. Okay, cool. Thank you, Zimmy. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, legendary blue gamer. You know, I'm up for helping anybody out, man. Like I said, if you're into gaming and animation in Microsoft Paint, check him out. I used to be into gaming, but now I don't have time. I only have time for one hobby, and 3D printing is the hobby, because I play music 6 days a week. And this is actually the first day I've had off in 3 weeks. So I'm tired. But I couldn't wait to get this printer set up and going. I've been sitting on it for, what, week and a half now, Robbie? And it was killing Robbie, too. Because he was worried that something wasn't going to work out, you know, after shipping it and everything. And I'm like, well, I'll get to it when I get a chance, man. I really will. Because I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. And here it is, the moment of truth. Well, that's weird. Okay, it looks like it tried to print in air in one spot inside the cab and drew some filament down inside. But it seems to have recovered from it almost immediately. It's like it decided not to not to bridge across before trying to do the infill pattern. It looks like it tried to do the infill pattern first. And that could be a setting in here that I needed to change as far as its. Because I know there are different patterns to it. I'll be able to look at it better when it gets done. But it recovered from it immediately. It just has one little wispy, curly strand of filament that like just drooped down in the middle. So we'll see. Well, so far, man, it's exactly what I needed. Exactly. And just in what I've seen of it print so far, it's going to be perfect. John Mack. See, I know there are like options in Cura now for. Let's see. What's it called? Infill pattern, maybe. I'll go ahead and show that. I know YouTube auto flags stuff like that when you're asking for subscribers, but I'll go ahead and show it. You've come in here and you've been respectful and behaved yourself, so that's cool with me. Number of shells, okay. And it looks like my infill pattern was set to cubic, if that makes any difference. My wall thickness is 0.8 millimeters. Wall line count 2. Top and bottom thickness is set to 0.6. With top layers of 3, bottom layers of 3. That was the default settings when I just opened up the CR-10 S4 profile from Cura and let it go. So I may find that I need to modify some of that stuff. Or maybe I just need to go buy Simplify 3D and use Robbie Mack's profile that he sent me. Make my life even easier. And Blue Gamer, when I get done with the stream, I will check out your channel, man, and shoot you a sub since you subbed to me. Well, we're on the smokestack now. That means we're getting close, right? Chris would know. I didn't look at the time when I started this to see if it actually how accurate Cura's timing was. Cura said 1 hour and 14 minutes. Okay, over here the CR-10 says it's been going for an hour and 16 minutes. And we're on the smokestack, so close. But you know, other than that one spot where it just like extruded in midair and squirted some filament down into the middle of the cabin, it looks really, really decent. We're almost done though, and so when it's done, I'll pull it over closer to the camera and we'll take a look at it together. I haven't looked at or kept any eye on whatsoever the number of people that have been watching or any of that stuff. It says 17 watching now. If that's right. No, 6 watching. 17 was earlier. I had refreshed. Or no, now it says 18 watching. Never mind. Oh, and I got a thumbs down. That's my first thumbs down. Oh well. It's still interaction. I've never had a thumbs down before. Makes me sad. Thumbs down means I'm doing something right. And then when you get trolls and bots, then and thumbs down, you've made it. You've made it. You're a real YouTuber. Right. Well, and I know a lot of times that thumbs downs on some people's pages that are channels that I watch, they come from. It seems like once people start getting given stuff, people start thumbs down, and I don't know if it's jealousy or people just mad that you're getting stuff, and they're not. I don't know, and I don't do this for free stuff. That's not why I do this. But Robbie was gracious enough that and Chris Riley with the X1, they were gracious enough to send me their printers that they weren't using, and at any point in time, if I can do anything to return those favors, I will. I absolutely will. All right, so we're done. The TH3D thing says not to remove this from the bed until the temperature is under 40 degrees C. So should I do that? Should I wait for the bed temp to be below 40 C? I'm not patient. But I'm assuming that's so that you don't rip the build surface. Okay. So now we wait. Yeah, I don't want to lift or tear the build surface. So that's something I need to go buy today. Is I don't have any kind of print removal tool. And nothing. I have no print removal tool whatsoever. And I imagine on a bed this size, I'm gonna need it. Yeah, I saw the little tear on the bed. I don't want to do any more of those, if I can help it. So I'll give it time. Timothy Hoagland wouldn't have put on there to wait until 40C if he didn't mean it, right? I don't have a spatula. I don't have any print removal tools. Chris Taylor, Neary's, he recommends that chisel that he's got. That chisel that he's got that like folds out like a switchblade. I don't think so. Unless I missed it over here. I think it will. No. No. No spatula. You or Chris Riley, neither one sent me a spatula. It's okay. Like I said, I didn't do this for free stuff. That's okay. That's okay. And I was like, Chris Riley probably had like 600 sitting around from all the printers he's opened. Unless he throws them away when he opens a box and goes, oh, another one of these things. And I have somehow misplaced my good flush cutters that I bought. The Crescent flush cutters that I bought. I can't find them. I can't find them. I can still find the little needle nose pliers that go with the set. But I don't know what happened to the flush cutters. See, that's the problem with moving stuff. I moved stuff from upstairs to down here, and somewhere along the line, the matching flush cutters, oh, excuse me, have vanished. Are we below 40C yet? No, we're not. So these beds take a long time to heat up and a long time to cool down, huh? Yes, yes, Robbie, you did include the hex keys and the wrenches for the eccentric nuts and stuff. So yeah, we got all that. I need to put them back in the bag and keep them near the printer. Appreciate that. Now I can put this little cap back in. Starting to see why it fell out. Okay. We're at 50C. Take a long time to heat up and a long time to cool down. Yeah, Neary's his chisel is extremely sharp. Like he can cut paper with his. He's got like a link to it on his like affiliate link or whatever sales to you can buy one just like his. It's a pretty cool looking chisel. The other thing I need to buy soon is a good set of calipers. Okay, so I didn't. The stock profile heated it up to 60, so I just went with that. Yeah, that's what my plan was, is just to go buy a paint scraper from Home Depot. Maybe eventually order one of the Build Tech spatulas that are so cool. or maybe my wife is driving back to St. Louis next weekend. I know they sell those Build-Tac spatulas at Micro Center. May have her tell her to swing in there and grab me one. We're at 47. It's coming down. But yeah, from what I can see from here, it looks like a decent benchy. It's my very first benchy. And it is on there solid. I could Ivan Miranda it. Because, you know, he uses screwdrivers for hammers. Really? Okay, well, I might have to tell her to go in there and do just that. It's 44C, close enough. Okay, so I can see from here, I can see that I probably needed more shells because I can see the infill through the exterior. Let me see. Let me get this. Move this over here for a minute. So you can see the infill through the outer wall. But text on the bottom is fine. No, not too bad. There's 3 little lines, just like Chris said to expect, behind the porthole on that side, but none on that side. So you can see where it like just ghost extruded some plastic in midair inside. The smokestack is nice and round. And you can almost, if I can get the camera to focus on it, you can almost make out the hashtag 3D Benchy on the back. Almost. All in all, I'm going to say this was a pretty good Benchy. It would have been improved by more outer layers, I believe, because like I said, you can see the infill through the walls. A tiny little bit of a over squish around the bottom. Not too bad. The wheelhouse inside looks good. I wonder if I can... Yeah, see, it just... Now it's a Benchy Christmas ornament. No, I'll pull that off. But the archways look good. bridging for the roof, other than that one spot where it decided to just extrude some plastic into the middle of the cabin, is fine. The box on the back is nice and crisp. So I'm going to say my first ever Benchy, I'm going to call it a success, because I don't think anything that I see here was a fault of the printer. A little bit of ghosting on one porthole, but that to be expected on a massive bed like this, moving back and forth. No layer shifts, a little bit of zitting when it looks like when it changes its Z height, just a tiny little bit. No stringing at all. And a little bit of ghosting on the back circular window on this side. But again, not too bad. So now I need to take a picture of this with my phone and put it up on Twitter. Which Chris Riley isn't on, so he won't be able to see. My very first 3D Benchy. No, I don't think I need any more Benchies. One is enough. One is enough. It let me know that the printer works, and the printer works fantastically. I didn't have to calibrate the Y steps like you thought I might, Robbie. It seemed to work out just fine. Yeah, but I imagine my camera will take a better picture of it on my phone than the webcam did. And that's the thing with this silver metal, is it really does show off imperfections really well. So yeah, you can see where you can see the cubic infill, and you can see it through the walls. So maybe that's the type of infill too. Would you suggest a different infill than cubic infill? And then as far as wall thickness, my wall thickness is 0.8 millimeters. Is that enough, or should I up that? Again, the roof. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm 0.2 millimeter layer height. Oh, screen share. Look at this. So you can see the shell settings: 0.8 millimeter wall thickness. Wall line count is 2. Top and bottom thickness 0.6. Top thickness 0.6. Top layers 3. Bottom thickness 0.6. Bottom layers 3. Okay, so we'll go with 4 walls.
Infill density was 20%, and it was cubic infill. I don't know. I haven't seen that. The anvil torture test object. Have not seen that. Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's a very nice Vinci. Yeah. Here's the you can do grid, lines, triangles, trihexagon, cubic subdivision, octet, quarter cubic, concentric 3D, zigzag, cross 3D. So grid will be as strong and faster. Okay. Well, I prefer that. Okay. Yeah, I can almost make out. I can make out 3D Benchy, but I can't make out the hashtag. Looks too garbled on the back of the boat. But for a printer that size with that much mass and inertia of that moving bed to get that good, yeah, wow, this is fantastic. And then Robbie said 50C on the bed should be fine. So we're going to go down to 50C. And 215 is right where I print 3D Solutech. I'll stick with 50 for right now. And okay, cool. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this stream up because we got the printer put together. We printed a 3D Vinci, my very first 3D Vinci. And I appreciate you guys hanging out as long as you have and helping me out with all this. And Robbie Mack, I appreciate you sending me the printer, man. I will put it to use. I will put it to use. I will get in, set in on slicing up part of the Jeep and getting it on there today. But there's no way I'm going to stream for 13 more hours while that prints. So. Yeah, thank you, Chris, for joining in, man. I know you're often busy and don't have time to join in a lot on the weekdays, and so I appreciate it. And yeah, Robbie Mack is the bomb. Thanks to him, we will be seeing more of my vehicle designs cranked out faster, and it wouldn't have been possible without you. So thank you all very much. Thank you guys for stopping by, and we will stream. I will stream again on Thursday, but Mike Whaley streams tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern. So be sure to tune in for that. He does his printer repair hangout stream that you can actually jump in and hang out with him on it because it's through Google Hangouts. And AM, City. Yeah, Mike Whaley on Wiley's 3D channel. He does his stream starting at 7 o'clock Central in the morning, and runs for 2 or 3 hours. He kind of runs until people just kind of stop wanting to do the hangout thing. So I'm sure I'll pop in and hang out a little bit in the morning. And yeah, now I gotta get to slicing and printing, Mr. Buttram. So yeah, I'm gonna get on that after lunch. I'm gonna have some food. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten yet today. Um, so thank you guys so much. Appreciate y'all. Especially appreciate Robbie Mack for sending me this wonderful gift. And I will put this thing to work, and it will be a major workhorse in my stable here. So thank you guys. Thank you all, and a special thank you to Robbie. And we will see you guys next time.